walk up to this big, long, black, sleek Mercedes-Benz. I look at that car and I think, wow, successful. I grew up in a small farm town in Wisconsin. We didn't really have Mercedes-Benz in my town. We didn't even barely have new cars in my town. I get in the front seat of this car, I sit down, and the leather seats just hug right around me. And we're about to take off for this little drive, and I think, I better ask him something really smart. So I look smart. So we start pulling out. Now this is a gentleman who is a legend in the beer industry. He's been in beer marketing for 30 years, so I want to ask him the most important question I can think of. He pulls out in that car, and I say, Lee, why is it that a consumer chooses to buy one beer versus another beer? I think he's about to give me a 10-minute dialogue on how people choose and how we influence those choices as marketers. How do we get him to buy our beer versus another beer? Pulls out and he turns to me and he goes, Gerry, if I knew the answer to that question, we'd all be rich. I'm thinking, well, you appear to be rich. And you're the head of marketing for a $4 billion beer company with 10 beer brands under one roof, and you don't know the answer to the most important question of all, how do we influence people to buy this versus that? I spent the rest of my career learning how do we influence people, regardless of what industry you're in. You must influence people. In your case, you must influence residents to live with you. You must influence the families of those residents to understand that you are the best choice for them, for mom or dad or uncle or aunt. You must influence employees and staff to want to work for you versus some other facility, versus some other place they can work all together. In the hardest employment economy we've seen in decades. It's harder than ever to hire people, and you got to hire not only people, but good people. People who are passionate, who want to stay, and who want to do the hard work that you do. So we must influence people. If you can't influence people, you can eventually fail as a business. And if you can influence people, you can grow. Here's 2 5-year stock charts of direct competitors. The one at the top goes bankrupt in 2012. This is 2006. To 2011, top goes bankrupt in 2012, put out of business by the one on the bottom. Anyone know who that is? Any guesses? Everyone in this room has, someone said Kmart. They didn't go bankrupt until last year. You know what their strategy was, though, to stay in business is to merge with Sears. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Everyone in this room has used both of these companies. Any guesses? Yeah, Amazon. We'll get to Amazon. Blockbuster and Netflix. Now, what was Netflix doing back in 2008? Way back there, too. What was their business model? Yeah, remember they were mailing you the DVDs in the mail. They were mailing. At their peak, they had 20 million subscribers getting DVDs mailed to them. How many of us get DVDs mailed to us today? Not very many. If you lose 90% of your revenue, how's your business doing? Netflix is doing well today because they've learned how to navigate their business to success. Change what they're doing today so they can be prepared for tomorrow. I was on the phone. Years later, I interviewed the gentleman who was the director of research with Blockbuster in 2008. I said, so you were the director of research at Blockbuster in 2008? He goes, yeah. He said, your job was to give the executives insights to sell more and be more profitable so the stores made more money, right? Yeah, that was my job. Dude, what happened? He said, well, let me tell you what happened. I went to the board of directors in 2008 and I said, some version of this, I said, it seems like our consumers, those people that give us the money, they really like that DVD mailing thing. To which the board of directors said, okay, that's great, but what do you recommend that we do with our 8,000 stores and our 80,000 people who work in those stores? I don't know, but people really like that DVD mailing thing. And Blockbuster was unable to navigate their way to success because they couldn't change, they couldn't adapt. I travel all over the country and I speak to associations of all kinds. Everything from construction and concrete to attorneys to now I get to actually speak to people that do real amazing work, folks like you. And I teach them things like you're about to see. breakthrough thinking for your business. Give your customers more of what they want and less of what they don't. Yeah, no, it seems pretty obvious, right? Okay, now let's talk about this for a second. What did you not like about Blockbuster? Give me some examples of things you didn't like about Blockbuster. What did you not like about Blockbuster? Didn't like late fees. What else did I not like about Blockbuster? Yeah, someone always says that. I had to drive to the store. I had to put my shoes on, I had to put my pants on, I had to drive all the way to the store. And then what happens when I get to the store? So I get to, and they didn't have the movie. So I drive all the way to the store. I get there, they didn't have the movie I want, so I pick out the movie I didn't want in the first place, and then I forget to bring it back, and they give me what? Late fee. And then, if you're like me in my generation, you had to do what? Rewind, right? Maybe that's just me. Be kind, rewind. So, look at what Netflix did. They said, what if you never have to drive to the store again? What if we have an unlimited selection of every movie you want? What if no late fees? Send it back whenever you want. More of what you want, less of what you don't. And they took down a multi-billion-dollar, 8,000 location company in 6 years. Your competitors out there are building new facilities, putting in new food service, saying new things, doing things in a new way, and we must compete with all of the new things. We must be leading the charge for what are we going to do next. How do we give our residents more of what they want, less of what they don't? How do we give our staff more of what they want, less of what they don't, so we become the number one choice? Now someone says Sears or Kmart and Amazon. Sure enough, Sears went bankrupt last year. Look, the reason I put this up is because this is a brand new example. In every year, in every industry, somebody is growing while somebody is declining. Now a lot of times people say, well, our thing that makes us special is our relationships. Is the nature of relationships changing? Would anyone in here say they have a relationship with Amazon.com? One day everyone's like, wait, that's a good question. One day I'm with an audience, and there's a woman sitting right in the front row, and she goes, I have a relationship with Amazon. It's not a healthy one, but I have a relationship with Amazon.com. So I now live in Denver, Colorado, and I've got a little hobby farm, and we've got these miniature goats. And the miniature goats kept escaping, so I needed to run to Home Depot to try to buy some new welded wire fencing to fix the hole in the fence. I'm standing in the aisle of Home Depot, I'm looking at the 4-foot-high welded wire fencing, and I was wishing it was a thinner gauge so it was easier to staple. I get on my handy-dandy Amazon.com app, in the aisle of Home Depot, I look up 4-foot-high welded wire fencing. They're going to put it on my doorstep in 2 days. They're going to make sure that I know this is the right choice for me by showing me 482 people who have already bought this welded wire fencing and say that it's really good. My relationship with Amazon.com is they give me an unlimited selection of the things that I want. My relationship with Amazon.com is they make it extraordinarily easy for me to do business with them, to click the button and give them my money. My relationship with Amazon.com is that they make me certain I am making the right choice. How can we make it more certain for those families and those residents that we, our facility, our staff is the right choice for you? How do we prove it to them that we are the right choice for them? This is a great, you probably can't see this, but I thought it was such a breakthrough example of how do we then, once we convince them that we are the right choice for them, how do we follow up and keep them convinced over time? This is an email I got from Hilton when I prepaid a hotel room in New York City. They sent me an email that said, Gerry, well played. You're smart. Gerry, that was a good call. How do we, after the resident moves in, continue to be in communication with the family, just like Amazon continues to be in communication with us over time about where is our package? Where is mom? What's mom doing? What's going on with dad? It was a good call for you to share your family, your parents with us. How do we give them that support ongoing that they've made a good decision? So how do we do it? Here's the problem, is that nobody buys anything What we actually do is we choose between options. So when your families are looking at where should we get the assistance that we need, what facility should we use for our family, they might be looking at multiple different options and saying, which is the right choice for us? A few years ago, I live in Denver, Colorado. I'm at home and I'm making ribs. I realize I'm out of barbecue sauce. So I run down to the grocery store to buy barbecue sauce, and I'm faced with choosing between options. How many kinds of barbecue sauce are at the grocery store? A lot. 42 at my grocery store, 42 kinds of barbecue sauce. So I go there to buy, but I'm faced with choosing between options. Now, to the families that you serve, your facility might look like barbecue sauce. I'm looking at a bunch of different places that we could go. Which one is the right choice for me? And what our families want is to make a good call, to make the right choice. So it's our opportunity, it's our job to show them that we are the right choice. And how do we show them that we're the right choice? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pair up with somebody next to you. Pick a person 1 and a person 2. Person 1 is the person with the shorter hair. Person 2 has the longer hair. Okay? Well, you figure that one out. So, person 1, you get 20 seconds. And all you have to do is turn to the person next to you and convince them that your facility, or whatever it is that you're selling, your health insurance, your whatever, video services, whatever you're selling, you should choose us because. And I want you to fill in the most compelling reason you can think of that someone would choose you versus all the other options out there. And I'm going to say switch, and person 2, you get 20 seconds. So I'm going to set a stopwatch, pick a person 1, you get 20 seconds to convince your partner to live at your facility. Get ready, get set, go.